Good morning, Inner Sun team. How we all doing? Lewis here. Glad to be of service to give you a message that I've been pondering on for a while now. I kind of seen it through my own ups and downs in the last several years. It's an important one, so stay tuned. How to live a happy, sober life full of zest and meaning. Now, as somebody who struggled with that idea for a lot of my life and went through my own learning curves, I see the important meaning of having a purpose in life. Now, before you get carried away in your mind and kind of, assume what I might get into talking about here, just, hang in there with me, take a deep breath, and hear me out. Hear my perspective on this controversial topic. So, of course, when the topic of purpose comes up, it might trigger some things like, purpose? What are you talking about? You know, uh, I'm just here to live my life, or maybe purpose might imply that there's a God or there's some divine force out there, or that there's some kind of uh, drive outside of your own conscious choice in this moment of what you're doing in this earth and why you're here. It's a very existential question, right? Because many of us, including myself in the past, just kind of thought that, oh, I'm just here to live life and die someday. And I didn't ask. I used to think that I didn't ask to come to this planet, and life is a drag and all that stuff. So if you're coming from that place like I did, then the word purpose can be very annoying or whatnot. But I'm here to say that everybody's purpose is very different and unique, and it's not a question of right or wrong. It's more of a question of choice, or like an empowerment of choice rather, and something that you can step into, something that can help you feel better. So it's not a bad thing. It's actually kind of nice. Now, I struggled with addiction of all kinds of forms throughout my life. If you've seen some of my other videos, I've talked about that a little bit. But hard addictions, softer addictions like video games and junk food and whatever. Even, like I said, harder addictions to drugs and cigarettes and stuff like that. But part of coming to sobriety had me thinking about, okay, well, now that I'm sober and I got all this like clarity and time on my hands, like, what am I doing with my time? Because with addictions, it's kind of like you're just, bandaging boredom, or bandaging pain, or bandaging depression or trauma, or whatever. But once you kind of like, that's another requirement of being sober, I believe, is, kind of working through your pain and your mental and emotional state and all that stuff, and coming to terms with a lot of things, coming to acceptance a lot of things, being grateful for things that you weren't really grateful for in the past. And now, once you kind of get like past that, now you got all this extra free breathing space in your life. It's like, okay, what am I doing here? Now, a lot of people's purpose, I believe, may be, having a kid and providing an opportunity for them to, explore this life. And I think that's a powerful purpose too. I just, for some reason, that's not my purpose and my calling and path in life. My wife and I kind of had that conversation early on that, for some reason, that just doesn't seem like our thing. That doesn't seem like something we're pulled to. Now, me, I have felt more inspired to, make these kind of videos. I write about mental health and addiction and so on. Teaching yoga, teaching fitness, being kind of an empowerment coach, a personal trainer, been a personal trainer for some time now, and it fills me up. Going back to that point that I offered earlier, it gives you a feeling. It feels good. It feels, feelings are a driver in life, whether people are aware of that or not. conscious or unconscious feelings of comfort and satiety, relief, security, peace, freedom. That's why people go after money, for a feeling of security and peace and success and all that stuff. It's just, people are not that good these days about, navigating through their feelings and identifying them. So that purpose helps you fill that kind of cup. It fills a big portion of your emotional bank balance, what I call it. It gives you zest, juice. So even, when I felt comfortable, whatever that means in life, of just having my job and my wife and, doing what we wanted, there's still something kind of missing. I feel like giving outside of yourself on some level is part of a mental and emotional wellness toolkit, complete package thingy-mabobber, like it's a fundamental part of your own kind of optimal well-being in this life. And before, maybe at this point your purpose is just like healing and taking care of yourself. And I want to point that out because some people, like I was in the past, didn't feel ready for that kind of burden of purpose. Like, whoa, hold on a second. I'm going through my own drama right now. I'm going through my own life sufferings. And how can you got to have a more full cup in order to give to others. And I've found that to be true on my journey. And now that I feel like my cup is becoming more full, I have more space to give to others. And now why do I believe on a more fundamental, deep level that this purpose thing is so important? Because I believe in the oneness, the unity of all things. I love yoga because yoga means union with the divine energy of everything. I believe that we're little avatars who, at the higher core, we're all connected on a different dimensional level. So me giving is giving to myself on some level. It's giving to that higher tree of knowledge and wisdom that permeates all things. So I think there's a balance of your self-individual avatar, your ego, and then a balance of giving back to the collective. So I think that it can cause a lot of suffering and pain and limitations to just only be focused on your own individual shell, your own individual avatar, your own individual ego, and can kind of limit you from your highest potential. So it's not a right or wrong thing. It's a time and a place thing, I believe. And maybe your purpose now is to take care of you or take care of your family. It's a stage by stage thing. And I think that also, even if you're in that particular place, the prospect of having a purpose can also help motivate you to heal and work on yourself and have goals and all that stuff. Because sometimes when you're not in a very good place mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you might not feel that inspired. Like, what's the point of healing? You might ask yourself. But if there's this prospect of being able to feel great and fulfilled by the means of service, you're like, okay, well, maybe it's worth a look at. Maybe it's worth working at. Maybe it's worth me being my best version in order to provide so that I can get that feeling. It's a simultaneous giving and receiving. You're giving a service and you're receiving a sense of joy. So a lot of parents that I've met with the right mindset, at least, that camp of parents, good job, y'all. A lot of them realize that having children is a blessing. They say, wow, my child, gives me a purpose and reason. And there's other camp of parents that are just like, oh, my children are such a burden and I've sacrificed everything for them and I feel like a prison to that. So mindset is everything, right? And I'm not going to judge you or shame you for thinking that way, no. Because, I've been there in my own way, in my own life, thinking that I was a victim to life and all that. But there's two sides to every coin. And there's another perspective you can also look at. And if you have that mindset of service and of giving and of love and compassion and unity and oneness, then the energy will flow through you and it will become more fulfilling. It will fill you up. But if you have this resistant attitude towards your life and towards service and all that, it's going to feel like a suffering. If you think it's a suffering, it's going to feel like a suffering. Thoughts are the seeds to feelings, which are connected to your actions or inactions. So that's what I got to say about that. Purpose is something to meditate on and to dive into for sure. My name's Lewis. I'm glad to be here with you today. It's Inner Sun Yoga and Integration Community. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe to our channel. Peace.